Welcome back, everybody. We're going to be continuing our last save here. And yeah, I think this episode, our main goal is going to be trying to militarize, get ready to start fighting wars. And we have a lot of pops, 230, but at just year 36, at the current state, they're relatively poorly managed, right? So, um, despite having such a high income and all that good stuff, our tech score is not great. We have a lot of colonies that are under stellar culture shock, and this and that. So we definitely have a long way to go before we've kind of optimized our empire here. And yeah, I kind of got to remember what all these planets are for. Maybe going through and giving them all a name or something like that at this point would be quite helpful, as it is getting harder and harder to kind of keep up. So I think for our first batch of ships, I probably want to go with something like cruisers. It looks like we have medium X-ray unlocked. It's been over a day since I played the last episode. We got railguns, so we have decent ship technology here. We just kind of need the alloys as we are continuing to not roll arc furnaces. We can just produce alloys. I guess what you could call the good old-fashioned way. Although, as you can tell, it's not great income. We're losing consumer goods. We're only making 100 alloys. This is kind of the Stellaris life when you're not ascended yet and you're trying to push out um, high incomes of stuff. I guess what that does mean is we do need to start building up a second world, say, dedicated to factory goods, and then we can focus our capital on uh, the production of alloys, for example. So that should be fine. Also, some of these planets here that we've been using as unemployment farms, I guess, depending on the species traits, we can start to consider turning them into something else. Let's go ahead and take a look at this planet where we have a lot of Vrin. So let's take a look at what traits the Vrin have. Venerable, nomadic, resilient. Yeah, not a lot of positive traits here. Non-adaptive, unruly. And this planet, well, it's not a great planet. It doesn't have any nice features even. Uh, Not that I can really immediately notice. So I guess we'll just use this as a tech planet. Why not? Our mining world here also probably needs some more workers. So um, any pops we grow that are habitable for this kind of planet probably should be moved over, such as um, any additional catgirls we get. If I do remember correctly, we have a couple planets which are currently purging, um, purging into catgirls, so that is definitely nice to see. Let's take a look at our capital here. Yeah, as you can see, we're starting to run out of space here. Uh, though we have one more lithoid mountain to remove, and then probably the best play will be to start trying to turn this into an ecumenopolis. Now, as I mentioned before, the main weakness of necrophages now is weak unity output, right? Which means we're not even done our first 3 tradition trees yet at year 36. Even with what is not objectively a terrible unity amount of 215, um, with this kind of unity number, it will still take us absolute ages before we start being able to really progress in terms of getting those tradition picks done. So we're going to probably have to start putting autocathon monuments on some of the planets where we have more pops on them, as this can really, really help our Unity score out. I'd highly recommend building out a maxed out autocathon monument on every single planet at some point, because the Unity from worker jobs modifier is very nice, plus 5%, making the politicians and such produce a little bit more Unity. And in addition to that, they do give some amenities as well. So yeah, this is generally not a bad idea. We are also running out of motes now, which is a bit annoying, but okay, that's because this chemist got disabled. And yeah, as you can see, the efficiency is really bad, just 2.0. I guess a lot of these planets have a lot of blockers that still need to be cleared, so we got to be careful about that, I guess, and start to clear them when we have the chance. Um, yeah, especially if we're going to actually use a lot of these worlds and build them up, such as this planet here. Yeah, like it is going to be really, really rough without clearing most of these blockers, which we currently can. That's why these um, workers are making so little right now. And let's also take a look at this new neighbor we have. They are hostile, so we immediately want to start sending all our envoys to keep them happy as long as we can so we can scale up in peace and hopefully not have to fight anything too dangerous. Um, yeah, let's just make sure we continue to build up. Yeah, clearing these blockers will also help improve the happiness of these pops, which is really nice. And yeah, we just have this really big, expensive tech of Galactic Administration kind of blocking us right now from getting these removal techs. I probably should have been focusing on these removal techs earlier, right? But um, with a lot of stuff to focus on, it can be a little bit difficult to make the optimal plays all the time. I think one thing I can do is I can actually take reanimators here. Um, I think normally speaking, something like Relentless Industrialists or Meritocracy would be fantastic, but we really, really badly need to get Unity. And one of the actual nicest ways to get a lot of Unity is by having a Necromancer on every planet with more than 10 pops. And since we are Necrophages and playing on, let's say, beneficial settings for us, um, we're going to be able to get a lot and a lot of Necrophage buildings going. So let's go ahead and replace this with a Dread Encampment and just build a Dread Encampment on every single one of our planets where we have more than 10 pops. This is going to be very, very helpful, I think. So, yeah, I'm always just baffled by where all our minerals are going. It really feels like we should have a lot more, but alas, yeah. So these Gawks, where are we purging? Yeah, this is another thing I don't understand. Why don't they prioritize these jobs? Like, I'm pretty sure the Thorquell are set on citizens. Yep, they're residents, so they totally can. Um, but they kind of struggle to promote. Oh well, that's fine, I guess. What do we have here? Nothing great. I guess we'll take reactive armor. And yeah, was this the place where we were purging? Yeah, we're purging here. So we need to move some of these pops over as soon as we can. Probably don't need 2 enforcers. And yeah, this will just help us get some more, yes, any amount more minerals will always be helpful. So you can have a Dread Encampment here. Yeah, just every single planet with more than 10 pops. Let's go ahead and build a Dread Encampment. Let's just buy some minerals to speed this process up, because otherwise this microing is going to take a long time. Deneb, oh, Deneb is full. I guess we'll just remove a lab. And we'll see our Unity spike really quickly here. I think this is kind of necessary, and let's just also stop buying minerals now, as they're going to be really expensive for a little bit. Do we have any blocker clearing techs? No, so let's take any cheap tech that we have almost done, right, to get another roll. And selective defoliants, that will help us a lot. And yeah, there we go. So now we're probably gonna start to accelerate up a little bit faster, though. Yeah, look at these consumer goods, man. They're just not quite keeping up, which kind of sucks, but yeah, let's take a look at our Unity, by the way. So we started today's episode at like plus 200 or so. And yeah, as these Dread Encampments finish, I reckon we'll be probably over 400, which will be a more respectable amount of Unity. Still not a lot, though, as, right, we have a lot of pops just like producing small amounts of Unity and tech as like unemployment. But yeah, getting these guys into jobs sooner rather than later will probably be a good thing. So yeah, let's get this upgrading too. I guess what I should start doing is I need to just start purging. Right? Just get more Catgirls across the galaxy, and if the species is bad, I think the best play will probably just be to start purging, so why not? Let's get ready some more shipyards, as we'll start needing these very soon. Or maybe not very soon, but soon enough. Oh, yeah, that's another problem, right? Is Necrophages, I think they must be Catgirls. They can't be Nyaz or any slave classes. So yeah, I guess that means it really is time. Ooh, these are some good tech options. I think we got to take advanced railguns, as getting good kinetics to pierce through shields without having to equip too many slots towards kinetics is really important. So yeah, let's make sure we do that. And also clear all these blockers so this planet will stop having such horrific efficiency and we can get over 1k tech finally. Um, yeah, as you can see, a lot of these planets which have these pops, they're just not compatible. So Vryn, I think the Vryn we have to purge these guys. They are doing nice on Utopian, but this will hurt our tech and Unity a little bit. But we simply need more Catgirl pops, and this is gonna suck because it's not gonna finish until this growth is finished, which is a really annoying bug. If there's a way to cancel this, please let me know. But like, I can't change their species rights anymore. Like they're already undesirable, and they already have. Wait, can I do this maybe? Set rights. Maybe that will do it. Okay, so population controls allowed. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I wasn't thinking about this yesterday. Yeah, here's a little update is I guess if we do this and set the population controls to enabled, now that will cancel the growth and they'll start purging right away. Okay, perfect. That's what I was going for. So, yeah, nice, nice, nice. Um, yeah, like obviously this way now, yeah, we'll definitely get more pops available to us sooner. Oh my god, yeah, we definitely need those. Yeah, like, and why do I have to kind of like? Oh, there's just not enough catgirls, I guess, and they can't work as necromancers. So we're fighting a lot of empires now. Let's just move a couple catgirls over then. There we go. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot more available to us on new planets very soon as well, which is very cool. Yeah, also just continue to remove, glaciers and such. We can also start to think about trying to connect these sectors and colonizing some of these planets, especially this desert world. We definitely need more desert worlds, so get a Catgirl ship to go colonize that desert world. And yeah, we're about 250 unity, so turns out those Necrophage buildings were not quite as good as I thought. But then again, I haven't built one on every planet yet, and I canceled a purge, or I canceled one planet worth of unemployment to do this. So, um, yeah, and some of these planets they just we're lacking the catgirls to do this at this time. But very very soon, as the Vryn are purging, right, we should have some. Yeah, too bad they're purging really slowly. We will be a little bit lost. We'll lose some pops to the purge, but I think it'll be worth it. I think we can keep those statues too. One thing I should start doing around this time is, since my tech is relatively high, it's definitely not a bad time uh, to build a couple science ships and start doing these anomalies. As you notice, I don't do anomalies very early into the game. Ooh, an industrialist with galvanizer will actually be really good for our home sector here. This is going to increase our unity quite a bit, I believe. As, yeah, plus, ooh, they don't count slaves, so it'll increase our unity a little bit. And so yeah, this is one of the disadvantages. Another one of the disadvantages of playing as a slaving species is like or a slaving class is they have been really lacking in the ability to just have a sufficient amount of what's it called, like unity from just pops for a long time, right? But hey, at least we have a lot of pops, which is just kind of fun, I guess. So yeah, let's also continue to make sure that we have autocathon monuments. We need unity. We need more unity everywhere. And unfortunately, we do not roll lucky. I was really hoping for kinetic battery there, but we don't happen to hit it. Not a huge deal. And once again, here, are we missing catgirls? probably are. Yeah, Necrophages, man. I haven't played them for a long time, but I'm kind of remembering why. Is there are definitely some quality of life issues um, with the behavior around different species. If you want to be a xenophobic necrophage, you can also be like a non-xenophobic necrophage and actually just be like a egalitarian or whatever. And it works really, really well actually, which is quite fun. So, yeah, let's think we have to move a couple catgirls over here just to make sure the necromancer jobs are actually being worked. And ocean ecology management, very nice. Let's just make sure that all our planets are blocker clear, or cleared of blockers, I mean, because I think at this point into the game, it's going to be a little bit too inefficient to be dealing with any of the planet scrapes debuffs. Right, so let's just make sure every planet is clear. Let's also get these two ships, and let's just have them do absolutely everything. Right, this way I don't have to micro them as much, because I hate microing science ships, and it's likely that you guys too hate that too. Unless you enjoy the story elements of the game more than the meta elements of the game, which is definitely different than me, but you know, no hate. I'd say the purpose of the game is obviously to do what you enjoy most. Um, and I think we're purging from here. And why do they purge so slowly? Oh, you can move purging pops. Oh yes, because they don't. This plant doesn't have stellar culture shock anymore. So, yeah, I can actually move some of these pops around so that they'll purge a bit faster. Because I think the purging is like planet specific. Yeah, so this is to help us distribute catgirls around the galaxy a little bit better. Yeah, and as you can see, we're also having problems making sure all our pops are working optimal jobs. But very soon into the game, I think will be the time where we need to start considering turning on planetary automation. And then I can also show you guys how I like to do so in the mid to late game. Even though I rarely play the mid to late game because, yeah, typically I find that the game is relatively decided by this point, at least in multiplayer. So, um, in single player, however, we're chilling. And yeah, I still hate this Deneb planet. Like, yeah, we need to. I guess we just need to start purging. Um, because if only the Catgirls can work so many different like of the important jobs on each planet, such as the necromancers and the culture workers, we're gonna have a lot of like clerks and stuff, which is just so uncomfortable. And I just don't know why I have to force them into being researchers. It feels really strange. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll deal with it for now. And yeah, see, like a planet like this, like I'm curious what we should be doing with a planet like this. Like I guess we could do tech. I guess we could do energy. Yeah, I guess basic economy never hurt. Especially since we're about to militarize, we're gonna need a lot more energy. So this is actually not a bad idea. Um, yeah, let's turn this into an energy world. I believe there's one more planet we have that might have been a really good energy planet, but I don't remember anymore. At Deneb, yeah. Deneb will be a great energy planet as well at some point. So yeah, 3 energy planets. That's probably going to hold us over until we get mega engineering pretty well, as our tech is not bad. Our unity is finally around 400, like I was hoping for. And we'll also make sure we have an autocathon monument on our capital, as our capital does have a good amount of unity jobs. So very nice. And another thing I do want to make sure we have is just enough rare resources, as these things really seem to be relatively difficult to produce here, but we'll make it work. Ooh, we need a dread encampment here too, so let's go ahead and make that. And yeah, still no arc furnaces, which really sucks, so I think we'll just start building a fleet without them. And I guess it's year 43, so it's not early for sure. It's not late yet, per se. But these are okay ships. Large X-ray laser, large railgun. I would normally prefer plasma if I had tier 2, but I don't think I have it, so oops, I removed these. Do something like 2 and 2. Realistically, more armor is better, but a lot of people know that in multiplayer, right? And what they end up doing is they just end up stacking like uh, mostly lasers and very little kinetic, and you get really punished for that. So let's give ourselves some cruisers, max that out, and these are actually good ships, right? The armor and shields are not fantastic, but we have yellow combat computers, plasma thrusters, and afterburners, level 3 warp drive. So these are going to be pretty like decently fast ships, which is a nice touch to have. So yeah, let's go ahead and queue up our first bit of ships. Now, this still won't be enough to realistically fight anyone, as these are Grand Admiral no scaling AIs, and we're probably going to have to build up this factory world first, before we can really start making enough alloys to actually like hold a candle to these AIs. Because if we look at it now, 112 alloys, we can actually find out exactly how much alloys the AIs are making. You just offer them a trade deal, alloys, and you just see how many. So they're making 42, so we're outproducing our neighbors quite a bit. But I would imagine some of the better empires out there, like the overlords and such, are probably making, yeah, around 200. So more than us already. So we're going to have to go a long way to both catch up to the amount of ships they already have and then exceed that. So that's going to be a bit more of a challenge than I was hoping for, to be honest. Thanks, game, for making sure we don't hit the important text, but hey, we'll figure it out eventually. No problems. And yeah, here, make sure we just keep teching up, because let's designate this as a tag world. I think it's time to auto designate every single planet to what they should be doing so we don't forget. Yeah, that's the most important reason, to be honest. So let's also upgrade all our Unity buildings, because we really need to ascend soon. Otherwise, it's gonna be a long time of suffering in low Unity. And I guess energy credits from jobs are nice. Make sure the industrial districts keep coming, and we can just resettle pops here from the planets that we're purging from, as there's going to be a lot of clerks and stuff like that. So yeah, move a lot of Catgirls over. We should have some here as well. Very nice. And yeah, this will let us also upgrade the Capitol building, and therefore the civilian replicators, and then we can eventually set our home planet to alloy only, and maybe even go alloy focused, though I don't think we'll have enough alloys for that for a while. Let's also take a look at leaders. I guess we'll just go with engineer, as it's really nice to not have to return to your home every time you take damage. So yeah, I mean, this is kind of my playstyle, right? Is if you don't have to focus on warring, it is relatively inefficient to do so. And as you can see, a lot of the really good Grand Admirals, they're still superior equivalent, despite us hyper focusing on like tech, which we're getting close to 1.5k in now, right? We have 400 Unity. These are decently good numbers. Yet, right, if I was focusing on military, I wouldn't even be able to get close to even that. So yeah, I would say it's very important that we kind of stay focused on this. Birth of Space Piracy is not good. Let's move some Catgirls back over here, actually, because... Oh, no. Did I cancel the Capitol building? Of course I did. Oops. That's fine. Here, yeah, move some Nyas over. There we go. And of course, it doesn't refund the minerals, which is one of my least favorite aspects of the game. Okay. And there we go. We can finally go ahead and take our ascension. I decided psionics kind of fit the idea of being, Catgirls and Necrophage really nicely, as we don't want to modify our bodies, we want to use our minds to excel in the galaxy. I really like that as an idea. So let's go ahead and do that. Um, Also, we can finally go out and clear some of these pirates and this stupid probe that's been blocking us for a while now. Let's go here first, I guess. And then down to this probe. And perfect. Ooh, artisan output. Very nice. I genuinely can't believe like how difficult it is to roll arc furnaces. I know we don't have a spark of genius on our counselor, on our council. I should have been checking for that. Um, I guess we can just hire one of these guys and hope it has a spark of genius on it, right? Like that is a thing we can do, yeah. Um, yeah, okay, I see the problem with that. I'm not bothered to micro that, to be honest. We're not playing a game serious enough so that we have. Oh, the timing of that is crazy, by the way. I just like complained about it. It's like, wow, I can't believe that we literally haven't seen arc furnaces for this long, and then the very next roll is, of course, arc furnaces. And are we raiding the pirate station? I think we have to go raid that. And then we can head down to the probe over there and finally clear that up, which is really nice. And we also finish our first archaeology site. Most of them are not so important so that I particularly care what we're doing. And this mineral planet, by the way, we can extend it even further. And this needs more catgirls. Let's go ahead and find some. Nope, not from this planet. Any planet but that planet. Catgirl, catgirl. There we go. Yeah, I think it would be really nice now to start like, let's go ahead and first of all, let's go set our, wow, these factions are, these factions are gross. Wow, wow, wow. Look at how many, like, terribly unhappy factions they are. And, like, our egalitarian faction's never going to be happy with the amount of, things we have going on. But I think we need a counselor who is materialist, and that will help us a lot. Do we have one? Materialist. Okay, let's see. What's the least important position? First planet scraper. I'm sorry. You can have this level 2 leader who is here just because of their ethics. And do we want this guy or this guy? This guy has Voidcraft expertise, which is the highest likelihood we hit things that help us hit arc furnaces, right? So we're gonna max them out as soon as we can. And yeah, as you can see, we're starting to kind of really accelerate now. With once you're finally starting to get Unity, is when the game starts to become much easier. Um, and another thing we need to do right is we need to change our agenda immediately to mind over matter, as we need to roll this tech as soon as possible so we can actually ascend and become psionic, right? Because we're currently not really psionic at all. We're just chilling. Yeah, Gox. Um, you know what? We'll leave them be. We'll leave them be for now. Just stop being clerks, please. Please. There we go. I don't know why it is so hard to convince them not to be clerks. And we have arc furnaces and Star Fortress. Perfect. So let's pause for a second and just take a look at where our good arc furnace systems are. Um, as I mentioned, double ring systems with 2 asteroid belts are almost always good. And of course, we have our home world as Sol, which means this will always be 20, which is really nice. But it looks like we're stuck with just 2 good arc furnace systems, which is this random system over here and our homeworld for now, which is fine, I guess. But we'll definitely focus on getting more later. So, yeah. Not bad, not bad. With 2 Ecumenopolises as well, I don't think we'll ever have a problem with... I don't think we'll ever run into a major problem in terms of having enough, like, consumer goods or alloys late game. But before we get these 2 Ecumenopolises, it is going to be very rough for sure. let's also do the Grand Archive. I've actually never filled out the Grand Archive. I've not played too much in the update since that came out, or at least ever since it came out. I wasn't trying to innovate anything anymore, right? So I never experimented much with that building, so I'm not exactly sure what are the best things to do with it, but we'll mess around with it, I guess, now and find out. See how useful it might be. I also say I am enjoying my SimCity. I do play very passively, as you can tell, but yeah, just making sure the planets that we have mostly occupied are as clear of as many blockers as we can. As I'm noticing, we're still hitting blocker text, which means we still have blockers. And I guess we just need more like gas refineries and stuff like that too. We can finally go ahead and dip into psionic as soon as we have the tech. So we're just gonna hold Unity. Oh, we are getting claimed. Okay. The Gregorian Technocracy. So these guys really don't like us. So this is gonna feel really weird, but you just want to offer them resources, like especially something like food, right? Food is not so important to us, and if we let the month pass, we're going to see their relations are going to improve with us quite a bit, right? And they go up to suspicious, which means they're not going to invade us right away, which is basically how you defeat Grand Admiral AIs, is you just befriend them, or maybe not befriend them, but don't make them actively hate you, and keep them just happy enough until you can actually overpower them. It is really, really cheap, but it works, so why not? You do obviously have to have resources to send in order to do so, but like you don't need to send much, and you don't need to send good resources. You can send consumer goods. If you happen to have, natural wealth of exotic gases or something that you don't need, send those over. Yeah, the AIs are not very smart when it comes to understanding how much resources are worth compared to if they just vassalized my empire and made way more resources that way. Let's also start our first arc furnace over here, and a second one on this deposit, and we'll finally be making an actually respectable amount of alloys. And I do have to say also, with how high the pop count is here, 260 at year 47, which is very high for a biological build, it definitely feels quite funny. If we declare war with these, who do we also? We also have to fight the Sin, which are much, much stronger than us. Wow, okay. Those guys will be overwhelming for a long time. These guys are just superior, which means we're actually relatively close in power to them. Oops, that's not how to build an arc furnace. So let's go ahead and see how much alloys these guys are making. 147, right? So we can exceed that pretty easily with 2 arc furnaces. And when we finally ascend psionic, which is going to be really, really awesome. So yeah, let's just make sure we keep all our buildings upgrading and just basic stuff like that. And just minimize the amount of dumb jobs we're working. I know we're working some, but it's kind of unavoidable unless you're trying to like hard micro every planet, which, let's be real, is very exhausting. Also, it occurs to me that we don't have a Ministry of Production on my homeworld, so let's go ahead and build that. And fortresses, why not? I'm disappointed we didn't hit kinetic battery yet, which is a little sad, but it's okay. Mind over matter also feels so slow. 67 months, wow. We might just hit the psionic tech in that time too, hopefully at least. And this planet is crazy as well. 28 mining districts, and I haven't popped the cultivated worldscaping yet, which I honestly might do now. Though I do need to save my influence for when I start attacking people, so maybe we'll do that. Ooh, and we get orbital habitats, which means we can roll orbital rings soon. And orbital rings, in case you guys do not know, are absolutely amazing. As, well, orbital rings allow you to really massively boost the efficiency of your planets, which is just something that, well, hopefully everyone understands why that's important. I don't know why I'm taking so many systems, by the way. I should really be saving my influence for claims. At the same time, my influence gain is decent enough, so it's not a huge deal. And One thing we can do, by the way, a cheap way to get influence is if you can find empires that are far away from you that you have valid rivalries with, is well, you just go ahead and declare rivalry across the galaxy. They can't really do anything about it, like this, for example. So go ahead and harm relations here and declare rivalry, and this will increase our influence gain a little bit. Just a funny, cheap way to get influence. Um, Also, I missed the election. Hopefully, it didn't mess up anything too bad, though. We did lose one charismatic leader, so let's go ahead and just check that our edict funds are not crazy over, and they're not, so that's good. And yeah, as you can see, we're really struggling with the rare resource production. Do we have any space for rare resources anywhere here? Geez, yeah, it is definitely not easy to to have so many low efficiency pops. This is kind of the opposite of how I would normally play, with much fewer high efficiency pops, which is definitely easier, I would say. Um, as the micro load, as you can see, is really high, especially for a guy like me who doesn't use hotkeys. Um, as I don't really like hotkeys, I like clicking on stuff, so yeah, not bad, not bad. As you can see, though, our empire is still doing pretty well. We're making not quite 1.5k tech, especially since we're lacking in engineering, but like 1.4k technology almost. 100 alloys, 62 consumer goods, and we're starting to build our first two arc furnaces up now. Oh, I completely forgot to build this one. So we're building our first one arc furnace up. My apologies. So yeah, anyways, like that's still not bad. Let's also move our first fleet back towards our home and start them upgrading as well. Very, very nice. I think what we want to do now is also just change this to a forge capital. Yeah, it's definitely going to make our consumer goods a little bit sus, but our consumer goods world is upgrading. Don't worry about it. Where's our consumer goods world? So this one. Yeah, 13.4 in comparison to our home world, 17. What a difference. Um, yeah, that's why I always recommend you make your home planet, your main industrial planet, is it's just much more efficient thanks to all the bonuses on your homeworld. Obviously, this planet can get better. It doesn't have like a good governor, for example. So let's go ahead and perhaps add a governor. That should help. And what are we at now? 14.6. So not much, but yeah, you can see how these incremental improvements do add up pretty nicely. And yeah, unfortunately, Mind Over Matter is taking so long, but we'll get it. We'll get it done. We will definitely get it done. Noish, noish, noish. Oh, there's a 16 arc deposit there. I didn't even see that one. So let's go ahead and grab that, actually. That'll give us 3 simultaneous arc furnaces, which will definitely be a nice improvement. This tech world, what are we talking about here? Alright, just too many pops, not enough buildings. Gawks. Let's see. I guess. Yeah, I guess we'll just upgrade these complexes, right? And just hope we can stay just above water with those rare resources. Yeah, as you can see, this is kind of how I play my early mid games. Just a lot of planet management, as outscaling the AIs is not given. Though we are getting very close to being able to declare war at these people. And yeah, these guys are not very diplomatic, right? So, how do we call these guys actually? The Gengogian theocracy. Yeah, they're not diplomatic with anyone, which is nice. Let's see, catalog index. Ooh, harm relations. You do got to be a little bit careful when doing this. And then declare rivalry. Sometimes you will get attacked. Like these guys are actually bordering me, I think. No, no, yeah. These guys are an enormous empire, by the way. But it'll take a while for the diplomacy to get bad enough for that to become a problem. So yeah, nice, nice, nice. As you can see, right, despite being a xenophobic empire who are necrophaging and purging the galaxy, nobody is attacking me. And this is one of the reasons why I would say there's kind of a set strategy to beating Grand Admiral AIs. Is really all you have to do is not like horrifically make them mad. That is the most important thing, and if you can do that, well, you can sit and scale as long as you like. If you spawn with a terrible empire, like let's say you play random and you spawn with some terrible, unlucky starting empire, what you can do is you can just rush synth, basically, no matter what you are. I guess you can't do it if you're a hive. No matter what you start as, you can rush synth, take modularity, or if you don't care about balance, of course, virtual. And then you can use that to outscale every AI, as the pop growth and pop efficiency will just be so immense once the synthetic ascension is done. And yeah, that's kind of the universal Stellaris strategy, I guess. And man, do I hate them, these guys demoting themselves into clerks. Please don't do that. And yeah, as you can see, wait, did I turn this into a factory capital? I was like, why are we losing alloys? Empire capital. Yeah, there we go. Plus 300 consumer goods was a lot too. I was like, what's going on there? The thing we should be building is we can upgrade this, and I should replace this just immediately with a crew quarters. As that's going to save us quite a lot of energy parking all these ships, right? So. And yeah, as you can see, we're also getting, hopefully now, 3 consecutive arc furnaces upgrading. Though we are a little short on alloys. Let's just get this rolling. And yeah, that is going to help us a lot as well. 89 alloys is really not good, though. Like, this pop efficiency is just so terrible. I don't want to burn Unity doing this, because plus 700, right? It's good Unity, but it's not a world-changing amount. Like, good clone army and good psionic builds would be competitive with this, right? So, and yeah, once we start being able to eat other pops and necropurge them, let's just make sure we have our species rights set correctly. Yeah, they're set to necropurge by default. Then we can really start to grow our empire and really quickly populate the planets we do have. So actually, let's stop and do that now. Let's go ahead and give every planet a final designation. So this will be generator plus research. You will be also generator plus research. Generator plus research. Like, this is just a good way to kind of keep track. And well, this is just a mining planet. This is just a mining planet. This is just a good way to keep track of your planets, because this is going to be generator plus refinery, maybe. I just realized refinery has the same letters, so let's just go refinery. This is our capital. We don't have to worry about that. This will be consumer goods. This will be probably minerals plus research. And it's also just make sure the designation is actually automatically set, so it won't change into something stupid. Yeah, this can actually be an agri-world, which is the funny thing. Let's do refinery plus agriculture. This will be generator plus it can be refinery research, whatever we feel like, I guess. And then probably planets after this, these are all going to be bunker planets, which means we're just going to cover them with bunkers for naval cap later on, as we need to get to the 10k naval cap at some point in order to take on a 25x crisis. I've never actually taken on and succeeded in a 25x crisis. I've gotten there a couple times, but I've always lost. So we'll see if we can do it this time. I've never specifically researched what ships you need to defeat a crisis, and I definitely think it would help if I just looked it up instead of tried to figure it out myself. So we'll do that this time, I guess, and just see if I can actually take on a 25x crisis and eat the entire galaxy into our own, which will take a while. It'll ancient refinery that will help our rare resource situation a lot for sure. We probably won't have as many issues with rare resources after that, so that's going to be really nice. And yeah, as you can see, we need some alloys. Let's go to Forge Capital for a little bit. 9.1 alloys per pop is so garbage. That is so funny. Yeah, I guess that doesn't matter too much. 9.1 is really, really funny. We are in consumer goods economy, right? As we're using so many consumer goods. Take a look at this. Like 421 consumer goods used. Also, it occurs to me, I remember some of these planets, yeah, they still have active volcanoes. So let's go ahead and clear those out. I'm not bothered to find my blocker clearing leader to make them more efficient anymore. It's too late in the game to be worrying about hundreds of energy credits unless you're super mini-maxing, which I don't think we're doing at this point anymore. So, oh yeah, we can start to upgrade some of these capital buildings as well, which is really nice. We might get an extra, like a technocracy science director or an extra politician. I'm not sure which we get, but an extra science director would be really cool. So I don't think we will, but it would be awesome. And what else? Okay, we need more energy. It's looking like. So where was Deneb? Of course, I renamed it, so it's just the generic planet now. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're getting as many generator districts here as we can, as we'll need that. Spare. Ooh, I don't want to spend influence. Yeah, I just can't spend influence. Ooh, battleships. Whenever you get battleships, you should take it. Mostly because battleships, even though as ships they're not as dominant as you might think compared to cruisers. Cruisers are often used in PvP even after people find battleships, though I like battleships a lot. um, One thing is, against AIs, they completely obliterate the AI ship designs, and it is just fun. It is just fun to have battleships as they're super long range and look cool, and they unlock, most importantly, actually, is they unlock megastructures. You need battleships, you need citadels, and then you can unlock megastructures, which is, of course, a super important step um, in most games. Now, do I want to skip this for 11,000 Unity? Nah, I'll just wait it out. Unity is so important. We don't want to be wasting it. Yeah, and once these arc furnaces come online, we'll finally have an economy, which is nice. And we should start to be able to think about getting claims on some of these guys. And harm relations, declare rivalry. Yeah, and at this point, we also want to just start declaring rivalries across the galaxy. To like, these guys are so strong. the Sin, the Sin. Okay. Oh, we can only have 3 rivalries. Okay. And why are you not auto building? I don't know why. I thought they should be auto building. Let's see. How long is this going to take? 700 days. This is about to finish. So let's prioritize the ones we've started and then. Ooh, what is this? 19,000 Unity or 10%. I think it's got to be the industrial network. That is a awesome modifier. I wonder how much like bonuses for alloys you can actually end up stacking in ultra late game. I have no idea. I don't usually get to ultra late game. We'll find out. Let's just make sure we have a charismatic leader, right? As we don't want to waste Unity on having over edict cap. We really want to keep these 2 edicts on as well, as we're spending so many resources on basic resources. So, or so many pops. I guess pops are resources. So, another thing we should consider is how expensive it is to claim systems. right? As like if we look at this and I try to claim these systems, right? It's super expensive. So I wonder if the meta will be to like go crisis or something. But I definitely am not strong enough to fight the whole galaxy right now. So we have to be considerate on how we want to go about eating the entire galaxy, as we're not total war right now, but we could be, I guess. We definitely could be. Alright, and we can finally expand the council, and we can finally ascend psionic theory. It's only going to take 6 months because our tech is relatively high. Get these generator worlds upgrading. We do not need mineral districts on a planet like this, so it is definitely looking really good. Make sure our arc furnaces stay upgrading. And yeah, I know our fleets aren't getting much stronger right now, but we really are kind of waiting on arc furnaces. And yeah, I can't decide how I want to go about warring these empires. Warring the Catgirls would be the best idea, but their overlord is overwhelming to us. Meaning we're gonna get destroyed. This is a robot, which means we can't necrophage them. Is there any total war empires? I don't think there's any total wars in this galaxy, right? So we can't total war, but just by declaring war with them and then taking everything without influence. So that's pretty interesting. Oh yeah, and one thing we can do now is we can also go ahead and plop down an ancient refinery on some of these planets, and we can go ahead and psionically ascend. Perfect. Mind over matter. How much of this can we finish right away? Ooh, a lot of it. Nice. Great awakening. And now we go ahead on every planet where we can. We go plop down a psi core. The psi core is really, I would say, the building that makes psionics work, right? Is without the psi core, your pop, you just have a very low pop count and pop efficiency, but the psi core gives you excellent pop efficiency. So yeah, it is really important to get that everywhere you can. And yeah, this is the benefit of us having invaded so many of these planets, is we can build a psi core on planets with like 10 pops currently, because they used to have like 25, so they have the upgraded capital building, so we can build a psi core on them, which is really a funny little quirk of of what we did in the early game. And yeah, so only our main species are currently psionic, which sucks. I'm very tempted to purge everything now into our main species. I think we will. We'll have no pop growth, which could be a bit of a problem, but you know what? We won't yet. But we'll purge everything except for the Niaz, I think. Goodbye, Thorquell. I've hated having you. You are now... do I want to do that? I gotta think twice. I won't have any good pops to grow on some of these planets, so maybe not, maybe not. We'll only purge new species for now. For now. We'll eventually purge everything, but for now, they're safe. So tempted, though. So tempted. And yeah, I'm really excited to see our Unity after this, too, as our Unity has been sad for most of the game, and we can also breach into the Shroud, as breaching into the Shroud at this point will, you know, we're already very late doing it, so better start doing it soon. Yeah, our influence is just not fantastic, I guess. It's not bad. And I will say, definitely don't build battleships before you have access to the X slot weapons. But once you have the X slot weapons, especially if you have them early enough, they can be really impactful. Because just nothing is ready, and you outrange everything by so much. You do so much damage before anyone even makes contact with you, which is interesting, right? So yeah, I guess at some point I just want to start claiming these systems. I wish I had better intel, so I could see how many like of them are on each planet. I guess claiming the capital is always a good idea because we know it's an old planet, so like, and the planets around it will definitely have decent decent amounts of pops on them. This would be so much more convenient. They're so much closer, but a super hostile sin who are overwhelming to us don't look that fun to fight. They might even declare war on us soon, so we got to be extra careful about that. And yeah, as you can see, our resources are all kind of skyrocketing now that those buildings are finishing, which is awesome, awesome. And uh-oh, we have an old factory somewhere. I always get the old factory, and I never like it. Go away, old factory. Yeah, just make sure we're actually working the telepaths on every planet. Ah, they're deprioritizing other jobs. Uh, oh well. It'll work itself out eventually. But yeah, we're hitting almost 1,000 unity now. The basic resources are better. Our home capital can be a forge capital. Our consumer good world doesn't have a Psycore yet, but it will very soon. And yeah, let's take a look at this. Our home planet is now making 18.3 on consumer goods and 10 on alloys, so considerably better. That is even without the telepath, so let's wait for the telepath to update these other numbers. Unidentified flying object. Okay. What is this? Is there a fanatic purifier? Unexplored worm. Yeah, who came through the wormhole? Like that I haven't made contact with? Could be. There's quite a bit of space in there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Good thing we have been building up fleets, you know? Let's go ahead and make sure we have that. Some undead armies, because they cost energy. Like, how deep can they get before they start taking our stuff? If that is a purifier, if we can actually fight them, let's see, that's like 35k, something like that. We can definitely take 35k on pretty quickly. Ooh, wow, we get red combat computers. I think we'll take red combat computers. Why not? That's just really cool. Yeah, we need so many more consumer goods too before we're really stable. So I guess move some Nyaz over here. Let's take some random pops off farmer jobs around the galaxy wherever we can find pops that can be moved over, and you know that'll help us a lot. And for this, I think it just has to be. It just has to be our colliery project. Um, our first EQ is already going to be very late. It's going to be after year 60, looking at our economy right now. So, yeah, that also means we should go and take a look at our mining world. Where was it? Here it is. And yeah, we definitely should upgrade this soon then. Oh, there's 5 empty slots. So let's go ahead and find 5 random, like, compatible workers and just move them over. There's a Catgirl there. I don't think we have that many, to be honest, especially since our energy credit usage is going to skyrocket very soon. We should have nabbed some. Oops, my mistake. As this is a very aggressive first contact, but I wasn't exactly paying attention, so a bit of skill issue there. Let's see. Is there any way I can reduce our expenditure somehow without going bankrupt? This is a pretty tough situation, actually. Our economy is slightly getting backed into a corner here, but we definitely do need it. Yeah, where these people came through this wormhole? Where'd they come from? Yeah, I should have clicked nab. I should have sped up the first contact in any way possible. I do want to see what they're going, because if they are total war, this is perfect. We can use the fact that they are total war to influence free start eating up pops and just absolutely exploding our economy to being absolutely amazing. But if, of course, if they're not, well, you can't do anything about that. So, but I think they are, because only Yeah, because as you can see, these are ships. They're not like fauna or something, right? So they're controlled by an empire, and only purifier type empires typically fight you on your own pre-contact you and that kind of thing. So at least in my experience, they usually are. They're not always, but yeah. Anyhow, as you can see, we're upgrading our ships very nicely. Um, I'd say we have decently high quality ships despite having bad weapons. I would highly not recommend having lasers this late. Oh yeah, we can reach into the shroud now. We'll need to sell some alloys or something. Reach into the shroud. Try to commune with it. And commune with it as soon as possible, as we do need to form a covenant. Depending on which one we get, we could get a very different playthrough, which is pretty exciting as well. Do have some extra pops here. Gawks, they're just not easy to move around. Yeah, because they're not psionic, we're not getting huge benefits from being psionic yet, as a relatively low proportion of our pops are psionic. But once we get a like a big amount of pops that we can start necropurging, I think it's going to be really fun. So let's go ahead and take supremacy now, as well, as we are trying to militarize and hopefully fight off that hopefully purifier, hopefully total war AI. Let the sun swallow it, don't really care. 10% chance for breakthrough per roll. Let's see if we're lucky. Let's try to hack them. Factory focus. Probably factory focus, right? Yeah. Yeah, because this is our consumer good area. We have one for alloys already, which is really, really nice. Okay. And yeah, hopefully our consumer goods are just ever so slightly moving towards positive, which is nice. We have a good buffer of food, so we don't have to worry about that for a while. Um, Not bad at all. And yeah, just get some of these arc furnaces going again, because I've completely forgotten about that. Let's actually do we have any ships building? Yeah, let's cancel these just for alloys to finish this last couple tiers of arc furnace off. Ooh, Voidcraft 3 or Archivist. I think Voidcraft 3 is actually funny. Um, I do really, really want to maximize the chances of getting a mega engineering before like year 70 would be really cool on a build that I would say is not very good. So yeah, and as we get close to 1,000 influence too, is we can start laying claims. And well, if you build an arc furnace, like that's a bit too kind. Um, yeah, we're probably not going to be able to take a lot of these claims, right? As they're like immediately, because they're really far from our borders. But if when we reward them in 10 years, we will be able to take them. So that is nice. I just want to make this first contact though before I like actually declare on anyone. And if these guys are total war, right, I will be able to um, fight them as soon as I can go through a wormhole. I forget if I've researched wormhole tech at all. I don't think I have. I don't know why I would have clicked wormholes if I've seen it. Yeah, I don't think I see wormholes here, but we're about to finish the red combat computers, which is really cool. I wanna put those on for sure if I remember to. I'm forgetful, so you know. And why did I click upgrade? There goes my alloys for like the next month. We should unpause. I just realized I paused. I'm sorry. Wow, this is definitely interesting though. You know, I rarely even play this late into a single player game, so I'm pretty excited to see where this goes. Um, don't get anything too valuable. We'll take plasma for now. I don't think we'll end up even using the plasma, as we'll probably hit protons and neutrons before we really take advantage of that. Um, Ship designer. I forget what we even just unlocked. Ah, yeah, red combat computers. Plus 10% range and fire rate is actually a relatively significant upgrade, I would say, which is really awesome. But yeah, it's also very expensive in alloys to upgrade. So let's finish our arc furnaces first. And as you can see, our mineral income is absolutely huge too, with the amount of arc furnaces we now have. Let's also remember to build a couple resource silos uh, to get the 20k minerals for our Nicumenopolis. It's also relatively important, and we'll just buy this so this doesn't bother us forever. Come on, we are just not making contact. I wonder if having a wormhole in your territory, Eater of Worlds. You know what? That's perfect. We want to be warring most things as we go, so yeah, because we get Eater of Worlds, as soon as we confirm the Covenant, I believe our energy is going to go vastly negative, and then we'll need to declare war to, yeah, as you can see, it's costing us a lot of energy, and we can declare war to make this go away. Watch this. Declare war, conquer. Wait, let me just make sure I've claimed every system that I have the influence to comfortably claim, and yeah, 350. Not that close. This is a nice system. It has a black hole in it. I don't think any of our current systems have a black hole. So that's nice. And then we'll go ahead and declare war on these guys. Conquer claim. And this will bring our energy credits back to positive, as basically the idea of Eaters of the Worlds is you need to be in war. We get wormhole travel, perfect. And orbital ring. Wow, these are really good tech rolls. Yeah, they're hungry and they can be satiated by fighting in war. And we go negative anyway. So, oh, we just must have an arc furnace upgrade. Oops. Yeah, I know basically your ship upkeep is dramatically increased. But yeah, this is just a case of skill issues. So I clicked minus 10,000 minerals. No, I meant to click negative 500 or something. I definitely didn't mean to click negative 10,000. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and they are purifiers. Nice, the chosen. Okay. And where did they come from? They're usually from over here, right? Yeah, okay. I don't know how strong they are now. I do remember seeing their ships, but we can finish off this small little claymore first, including an arc furnace, right? So whenever I see an arc furnace, you already know my monkey ass brain goes, arc furnace, yes, must have. So we must go take that arc furnace now. And where is our second major energy world? So there's the first one. Here's the second one. Let's go ahead and cultivate a worldscaping this, as we want more energy. And did we have another really good energy world? If I remember, we did, but I don't remember exactly. All right, it was this world that we never colonized because of the anomaly that I forgot to clear. You go clear this anomaly. And let's get a colony ship as well. Nice. And we are starting to get really bad on food now, so do we have a single food upgrade building? I'm really curious. I don't think we do, because I usually put such a low priority on food, so we're gonna have to do that as well soon. And we can also start terraforming these planets, but yeah, it's really a shame I delayed my IQ by like another 4 or 5 years by selling all my minerals, but that's okay, I guess. Confirm. Yeah, I never confirmed the covenant. Yeah, and that's when the energy upkeep would have increased. Yep, that makes sense. Okay. Is there anything we can take that helps us right away? Yeah, ship fire rate. We don't need the naval capacity yet. I usually take this one first. Plus 20% naval capacity, but we're not really close to that thanks to Eater. And thanks to Eater, we're also going to have really good naval capacity throughout this game, which is also a nice touch. I didn't think about that yet, but nice. Okay, we can go ahead and start eating the galaxy. And if I can eat the Chosen too, that would be amazing. They're superior to us right now, but we could be closing in on that relatively quickly with our new red combat computers and stuff like that. And we can now also probably start focusing on stuff like Dyson swarms. Yeah. Get some of these upgrading as well. Toy factory, cool. Did I ever build that Grand Archive? Let's go to collection, see what we got. Very cool, very cool. So I guess these just give you little token bonuses. Cool. Yeah, some of these look pretty good, so nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh yeah, and did our ring tech finish? Yeah. Okay, managing these rings is gonna be a pain for sure. as we're gonna need to go take so many rings, build so many rings. But we'll do the important ones first. So, oh, we're not actually invading. Let's go invade. Oh, kinetic battery. Perfect. That's the weapon tech I've been looking for a while. So, obviously, we want a ring on our capital first, as that's our alloy world. So, that's the number one priority. Number two priority should be our main generator world, which is Deneb, which is over here. So, let's go ahead and do that. And yeah, micromanaging the ring building. I wish it was a button on the planet screen, like somewhere here. Go build ring, but instead you have to find it on the map, which I really don't like. Um, but it's not a big deal. And then our main mining world is, of course, our starting mining world, which is over here in Cirrus. So let's make sure we go over there and get ready to build an orbital ring too. But obviously, we don't have that available right now. So yeah, let's push into the enemy territory for the first time here in year 62. Yes, we are slow. We take our time, but we are finally doing this. Let's also move our armies down. Probably should have done this earlier. And even if we can't piece them out first, we can just, get our first fight of the game in, which you guys might have probably been waiting for. Um, and yeah, we do have to be careful because I am playing on the Iron Man mode as well, right? So I don't want to declare war in a way and then I can't actually like win and then we're gonna be stuck for a long time, right? And wow, I finally hit a spark of genius now that I no longer need it. Yay! And favorite society, as favorite society is, well, fantastic. And let's start. Where did that construct? Oh, it just happened to be passing through our home system right now. Let's get an orbital ring over here. So those are our first three important orbital rings. Obviously, our consumer goods world is actually really important too. Let's build a shipyard and another something down there. Oh, they kind of got a slip on us. Let's see. Are they strong enough for us to require edicts? I think I will toggle edicts on and off depending on what happens. Yeah. Okay, if they fly in like this, we definitely won't need edicts. A little piecemeal. Yeah, if they fly in piecemeal like that, we definitely won't have any problems taking care of them, though we might need the gas edict just for speed. Let's do that. Exotic gases for fuel. I think we have so many gases, too. We can just leave this on now. Yeah, 17. So let's chase them down with a gas edict on, and what kind of ships are these? They're pretty relatively fast, actually, but we're probably gaining on them. Yeah. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, with the fight going like this, we can definitely just continue to add more cruisers to our fleets using the fleet manager here. This is a very nice way to build ships compared to the other way, in case you guys don't already know, but you probably do. But just in case, everybody is new at some point, and I am going to cancel a couple of these actually because I want to finish that arc furnace. And over at the shipyards, build a couple construction ships. Ship build speed is nice. Let's see, we chase down those guys, so they're dead. And let's come back down here. Ah, that's why the claims here are so expensive, is this actually wasn't connected. I did not know that, so I thought there was a hyperlane here somewhere. I was wondering why it was so expensive to go around like that. And damage versus star bases will be very efficient too. And we can just reach into the shroud. Living metal, sweet. Also, it occurs to me I can get a shroud preacher, finally. So let's go to contacts, Shroud Walker Enclave, and we can go ahead and buy a shroud teacher, who is really, really expensive. Wow. Okay. Sell some resources. Sell, I guess, more gases. I guess it's a good value for gases. We wish to learn. Okay. And I don't know where we'll put them, but we'll find somewhere for them, as our homeworld has this leader for now, who's probably better than a base Shroud Governor, but as they level up, the Shroud Governor will become far, far better, especially if we're lucky enough to roll Shroud Preacher, which gives plus 25% resources from jobs, which is, as you can imagine, a very, very, very nice bonus just for a governor. And yeah, as you can see, when you're even with an AI, you usually destroy them. You can usually defeat um, superior AIs with some careful movement and trying to split them up. But if you fight them head on, you can run into problems, and I've definitely lost to AIs where I thought I could beat them easily before when I was not being careful and that kind of thing. So don't be too cocky, but yeah. How's our ring going here? Oh, we have access to living metal, right? Can we buy it then? Oh no, I guess we only have. We only have the notion of what it is. We can't actually, don't actually have the technology to extract it yet. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. This is such a long way into their empire. Wow. So this will be an expensive unity barrier to get through. So we're definitely gonna have to become total war at some point, probably via crisis, which I've never done before. So you guys can actually play crisis with me for the first time I've ever played crisis, um, which could be pretty fun. We'll probably take that as a fifth pick then, because yeah, I don't think we'll definitely won't have the influence to kill the galaxy in a timely manner without crisis. So once we get access to crisis, that will definitely make things pretty interesting. And yeah, as you can see, the generator demand is just crazy as well. Relatively hard to keep up with, actually. So let's kind of make sure we keep building energy districts where we have the option to easily do so. I guess we can also start building Dyson swarms, right? As our unity is very good. So every time we see a good base star like Barnard's star here, making 6+, and oh, Deneb is amazing. Let's wait for the orbital ring to finish. Dyson Swarm, Deneb, 8 energy credits, right? Is this 8 on the... Yeah, 8 on the main star is really, really nice. So this can be a great Dyson Swarm as well. And I believe I wanted to build a orbital ring down here on our consumer goods world, which was over here. So let's go ahead and do that as well before we forget. This is why I hate orbital rings. They kind of like, especially in multiplayer, is really hard to remember, and of course we don't have enough influence. Okay. To start our EQ. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. We'll just build queue some stuff in the meantime. Queue some armies maybe too. We probably need some more armies. Some Catgirls saw armies, I guess. Yeah, just move these guys in, and we get one arc furnace out of this fight at least. And then we'll probably take on the Chosen for next episode. They're only superior to us. It is risky because if we lose, we are going to get wiped from the game. So we'll have to try to piece them out or something if we lose by accident, which could be pretty interesting. But yeah, hopefully we can piece this war out without too much effort. We are quite a bit stronger than them, but they don't have that much agreement right now as we haven't actually invaded any of their planets yet. So what I like to do is I just like to take my armies. I like to put them on aggressive. See if we can find anything with a general trait, but not really. Whoa, did one of our fleets actually get disengaged? No, I just left it back here. Okay. I was like, what happened to our other fleet? No. I have very bad micro, as you can tell. Oh, particle lance. Cool. Particle lance. We need like 80 influence, and this is really uncomfortable. I wish I had more, but I guess we don't, so it is how it is. Let's move some gawks over here, actually, as they're just farmers. Don't need too many of those. And yep, that planet is occupied. Then we can move the armies up, and this is a less micro-intensive way to take armies, then move armies around, then having to manually invade everything by microing, which can get very, very difficult. Then let's just insult them for good measure. Naval capacity, ship build speed. I guess we don't particularly need either, so let's just go naval capacity and upkeep. As you can see, this is why I love engineers, as the fleet will never really get below 99%, which is a very, very nice little touch. Also, I believe this... No, do not click this. It's 95 influence, and I need to save my influence to start my EQ, so that it'll actually finish in a reasonable time. I guess we can just send this as like a side quest ship now and just go take out every little system we find. Oh, another arc furnace. 600 influence. Don't have it. Birth of the Galactic Market. I do not care for the Galactic Market too much. And let's see how our... Yeah, we're very quickly getting war exhaustion. Right, they're at 100%. And as you invade planets, it increases this acceptance number a lot. The Stellaris' war acceptance system is a little derpy, but it's relatively easy to manipulate when you play against AI, which is nice. You just have to invade a few planets, and every single time it goes up by quite a bit, and then very, very quickly they'll just kind of accept anything you want, which is nice. 10,000. Is the starbase here any good? 2,000. Nope. So I guess we can just fly in. Nothing to worry about. Sometimes you do have to check if the star bases are really like strong or anything like that. You can definitely make mistakes like that, and I definitely have in the past, and lost to AIs in a silly fashion like that. So yeah, I just love the auto invade feature of armies. It is so important for making wars feel playable. And as you can see, we're almost at 500 alloys now, so we're finally making some real like alloy amounts, and it's just from having arc furnaces right. Having just a couple arc furnaces going, finally ascending to psionic by focusing on unity, super, super important, and we can see like the results are just immediately positive. 83 acceptance. I'm curious what this one invasion will change it by. I do wish the ground armies were... Whoa, 500 is quite a bit. I guess that's why we have been focusing on building some more Catgirl armies. Also, we have 200 influence now, so boom, let's start the EQ. Finally. Finally. It has been a long time coming. A long time for the EQ. But now we're finally getting it, which is nice. Additionally, where is our good old Deneb? There it is. I really want to get this as well, but obviously we don't have that yet. But let's do the low gravity refineries now, which will heavily boost our alloys some more. And yeah. Ooh. Well, the ship actually took really heavy damage. I guess we'll park it here for a while and just let it heal up a little bit. That was a bit of a mistake. I lost like 4 cruisers from that, so it's quite a bit. Not a huge deal though. Oh my god, they're like popping up behind me. That is relatively annoying. Let's go ahead and target that down, and okay, yeah, this war is gonna take a while to peace out actually, so good to know. Too bad we messed up and gave them hope. That's never a good thing. Oh, it's gonna take so long to heal. If I go heal at the previous starbase or something, I can do that, yeah. I can do that. And here, 3 more influence until we can start this. And yeah, these orbital ring buildings are just super powerful. If we read what they do, is I clicked the wrong one. Yeah, I see +1 alloys from metallurgers, and then that +1 is multiplied by all the percentages bonuses. Right, so let me try to explain this in a better way. Is if we go into population, is this the right menu? Oops. Planet summary. There is a way you can view exactly the breakdown of the efficiency of your pops. I'm trying to remember. I think it's here. Yes. Um, so this metallurgist, look at the number of bonuses. 25% from buildings, 15% from capital, 10% from forges, 10% from blah 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 blah. If you add those percentages up, you get to like 150, 200% pretty easily. And all those then multiply by the base number, which I believe is 3. So getting that by 4 is like increasing it by 1 is like a 25% increase in your ally output. It is absolutely massive. So yeah, do keep that in mind. Is that those percentage bonuses are super, super important to have. So how is our war exhaustion? We're gradually grinding them down. I do wish I brought more armies, as having just one block of armies big enough to do anything is a bit annoying, but we were saving up for an EQ at that time. Now we can kind of just dump all the minerals we get into more, I guess clone armies for now are good, Catgirl clone armies, as they build really fast, and later on we can get like some psionic armies or something like that, but we don't have the tech yet, so. And when can we actually, ooh. Wow, a leader dies. 105, okay, let the masses mourn, I guess. Were they actually on our council? Yeah, they were. They were a master necromancer. Unfortunate. I guess we'll get a second, what's it called? Commander on our council now, as we get to late game, more commanders is better. As commanders help military bonuses, right, which become increasingly more important as we look to scale by conquest, right? As we're finally starting to catch up with those Grand Admirals, which are just genuinely hard to keep up with in the early game. So I think we can go for another ship now. Let's go for a battleship with a particle lance. Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much what we put here. Maybe something like this. Yeah, it doesn't matter we're like using terrible scout wings. Having any amount of flak and point defense is nice, so something like this, and a reactive armor and an afterburner. Since we have such good combat computers, don't think we need to worry about having like extra targeting or anything like that. And we'll call this the Nya battleship. Yes, I should give them better names, but I like Nya. So there we go. Ship repair, that's nice. Hey, 10%. I've actually never gotten that during combat before, which is pretty unfortunate. But yeah, let's get our first battleship fleet going as well. As we're definitely starting to push out a good amount of alloys now. And yeah, if I knew this war was going to take so long to piece out, oh yeah, I should start scouting. Where are their pops actually at? 1 pop, 26. What about your homeworld? 24. These are not high pop numbers. No wonder I'm almost 49 and 43. Okay, so we found where the pops are. Yeah, this is something that we should want to claim. Wait, how do I have a claim on it already? We cannot remove claim. Oh, it just can't afford it. Okay, never mind. Yeah, once again, I've played this game for thousands of hours, and the UI still confuses me sometimes. And why do they suddenly not want to forfeit to me at all? like what? They went from like negative 80. Okay, I guess we can just settle status quo, right? Because I don't actually need to win the war. I just need to get my claims, right? This will make my future claims cheaper, and I get this arc furnace. So yeah, as you can tell, I am very motivated by arc furnaces. But yeah, I think the next thing we need to do now is probably attack the Chosen. And I'm not sure if we can take it on, but I am stupid, and I want to try with very little thought. So I think I will start the war against the Chosen in this episode, because I'm really excited to see how that's going to work. Let's take Evolving Society, just rush our Unity out as much as we can. Well, we will have battleships for this, right? We'll have battleships, we'll have a ton of clone armies of Catgirls, and Oh, we have 19 pops on this planet too, which is why are they domestic servitude? Slate, yeah. Oh, okay. No, I thought I set my default species to slaves and necropurge, but I guess I messed that up. Okay. Okay. Oh, and we have the pirate fleet over here. Let's delete that because I was like, why can't I actually colonize these planets? I'll just make a new colony ship, to be honest. Colonize these planets. Need to colonize this planet too, and just colonize this. Empire size be damned at this point. Oh, look at our energy situation. Good thing I caught it. And yeah, that's exactly why I wanted an upgraded orbital ring. And we should build one orbital ring. I think we already have a. Nope, we didn't upgrade this orbital ring. Okay, we should get that done as soon as possible. And build an orbital ring around Alpha Centauri as well. And just get ready to increase this energy efficiency because our energy efficiency is not very good right now. We are losing a lot of energy. I think it's because we're not in a war, and our ship upkeep has gone up. Stations, megastructures. Where are ships? I'm blind or something. Yeah, 300. Okay, maybe not. I don't think it's doubled. I think we're chilling. Take out that. This is a great generator planet too with the hazardous weather. I don't really care, so I'm just gonna click something fast and not think about it too much. Oh no, something bad happened. I don't really care about my diplomatic weight, so just don't affect pop happiness because that actually affects your pop output, which is definitely not what we want, as we want our pops to output as much as possible, not anything else. So that is, you know, fine, fine, fine. Wow, we actually ran out of districts on this planet. That is pretty wild. I don't think I've seen that for a while, but that is also why habitation modules exist. So, and let's upgrade this to a tier 2 as well. Yeah, having 6 influence per month is very, very nice. Another reason why Gestalts are very good, by the way, is because they just have such high base influence amounts, and this does not need to be a factory world. This can be a, I don't know, generator plus bunker or something. So let's immediately replace these with city districts, as I'm not interested in having terrible efficiency consumer goods workers. And is this where we go, Galactic Nemesis? Let's try it. I've never clicked it before. We can't go back. Maybe I should have thought about that more before clicking it, but here we go. Yes, I learned how to play this game in multiplayer, right? And we ran out of food. Oh. Um, and in most multiplayer lobbies, there's a lot of restrictions around going Crisis. So I never had the opportunity to learn how to play it. And now that I play more single player than multiplayer, I guess it's time to find out how this stuff works, right? So I'm actually pretty excited to see how that stuff works, to be honest. But I'm not 100% sure at the same time. Um, Gox. Don't need miners, that's for sure. We have too many miners now. Come over to this planet, farm a little. Farmers make 7.6. That is a bit of a joke. Um, I don't think I researched the farming text a single time, right? So, how much armies do we have? 2K? That's a good amount of armies. Let's declare war. Wipe them out. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's try to wipe them out. get these battleships down here as well. Let's actually set them to follow. Let's just merge them manually. It's fine. Cruisers, minerals. As you can see, I still haven't researched robots. I'm just not interested in doing robots at all. I'm not doing anything synth or anything like that. So yeah, I don't know if I have to bring a science ship to this wormhole to research it first before I can actually go through it. I forget how that works, so we'll find out in a second. And yeah, as you can see, our energy credit is just in a diabolical situation as well. So hopefully we can fix that. The first thing to do is, of course, just prioritize farming a bit more. Screw the important resources. We don't need no food or that kind of thing. Oh, the battle just happened over there, and it was so fast I barely even saw it. How do I move here? Can I just move here? Now that I have wormhole travel? I don't know how this works. Can I just go to the wormhole gate? Nope. Okay, maybe I have to research it. Let's definitely explore now. There's a permission from the chosen. Why do I need their permission? Ah. So I can only wipe out the little stuff over here. I need jump drives. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is definitely unfortunate. That is okay though. We have good ships. Locked. Oh, it's locked for 1.6 years. Okay, so just to wait 1.6 years. That's chill, I guess. That's not a huge deal. We can wait 1.6 years. We have so many slaves on our capital now. Um, do we have any districts here that can be used for food? As you can tell, I have a big vendetta against actually. Oh, we can just buy food. The galactic market's open, right? Let's just do that. Buy 110 food. Screw food production. You know what? We will just sit here and wait, you know? Galactic lock, no problem. We will sit here and wait. We have the lowest score. Oh. I completely forgot. No problems. I am still on isolationist. That is pretty funny. So, anyways, I guess we'll go invade the rest of the Chosen next episode because, well, I'm locked here. I've made some funny mistakes. But yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode. As you can see, with the amount of pops we have, it's kind of inevitable that we scale very hard. Um, yeah, probably next episode we're just gonna add some of these, nice buildings in, such as the ionization, and just orbital ring upgrades, just gradual stuff that will make our empire eventually strong enough to go starting to eat the whole galaxy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.